Okay, good morning, guys. Last day, I think I barely finished this one, but I got few emails from the students, so I'll go through this real quick. Okay, I'm not going to do exact steps, but I'll try to cover this fast. I also have few examples. Uh, that one. Okay, I'll check. I had few examples, but right now I don't know. I just forget the book. Anyway, uh, okay. I'll send you your second mid exam review this at the end of this week. Okay, maybe Friday, Saturday. Uh, this time I'm not sure about the handwritten answers, but definitely I'll go through the questions on next Wednesday. Okay, but I'll try to give you handwritten answers. But anyway, most of the time you will be having 2 or 3 short answer questions. Okay, format is very similar to your previous exam. Uh, maximum you can get 120 out of 100. Okay, with 20 bonus. Okay, we will discuss it later because still I'm working on that. Okay, in this case, if you remember, this is the mean, this is the standard deviation. Okay, so starting from now, I'm using my notations. Okay, our standard notations. So this is going to be standard normal, which means which means capital C has a yes, it is not standard normal, it is normal. So we are normal, yes, we are talking about normal distribution. So x is my variable, it has a mean 120.5, standard deviation is 15.2. Okay, so this is all we have. Then we need to find the students greater than this much. So greater than this much means this area. We need to find the probabilities, okay, or simply areas. This value right here is 155. Okay, so this is normal distribution. This is normal distribution. Right? It has a mean and it has a standard deviation. So what we have to do, if we need to find this, we simply converted or transform this to a standard normal distribution like this. It has a mean 0. I mean, this is a standard normal distribution. Okay, it has a mean 0, standard deviation 1. Okay, so using this formula, x minus mu divided by sigma, right? So this value, let's consider somewhere here. So C1, it is x. Now my x is 155 minus mu 120.5 divided by 15.2. Okay, so the value is 155 2.27. It's not the exact one, but let me find the exact one. 2.2697. Okay, this value right here, I mean simply let's say C value or C score value right here is this much. Okay, So we simply map this value 155 to our standard normal value. Okay, those values are two different values, but what about this area? This area and this area, they are same. Okay, because only thing is we change the scale. Okay. Now you can find the area belongs to this value using your standard normal table. So C value is given, I mean C value is there, you have to find the area. So C value is positive. Since the C value is positive, I have to check the second table. So what is my value? 2697. 2697. 2.2697. So 2.26. Okay, 2.2 first, this one, right? 2 okay, let's get this one like 2.27. Okay, because we can maximum go to 2 decimals. Okay, so I'll just round it up, round this number up to 2 decimals. So that value is going to be 2.27. So let's find out 2.27. So 2.2 is here, 2.2 plus 0.07, 0.07 here. So row value plus column value, this one or this one, right? Yes, this one. Okay, so value is 0, which means this area up to this point, it is 0.9884. So this area is 0.9882, right? 2. Oh, sorry, 4. 9884. This area, but you need this area. Then 1 minus this area 0.9884. This gives you what you need. 0.0116. Okay, this is how you deal with this kind of problems. Actually, on Monday, I'm planning to do a few examples based on binomial distributions. Okay, on Monday, because I think I can finish this section today, maybe tomorrow, next day. But anyway, I'm not going to start chapter 7 because we have enough time. So I'll start it after the exam. Okay, so next day I'll do more examples based on chapter 6. Okay, because chapter 6 is really important. Most of the time you will be having questions for your mid exam as well this time. So let's do this. Okay, if you know the concept, then it is easy to solve this, because there are only 3 types, right? Find the less than area, middle area, or greater than area, right? There are only 3 cases. So okay, next one is less than. So simply it's gonna be less than 85, something like this. Again, you have to map it into a standard normal distribution. Find this value right here, let's say C2. Go to the table and directly you can find the answer. Okay. Okay, let me do this one, because I think this is the last example based on this this kind of problem. So let me do this. Do I have? I don't have space, so let me erase this. I'm going to erase this. Okay. Okay, part 2. Less than 85. So 85 is here. Again, you have to map this to a standard normal distribution. Why do we need to do that? Because with this one, standard, with normal distribution, it is hard to solve this kind of problem? We can, yes, we can, but it is really hard. You need more mathematical stuffs like integrals. Okay, so to avoid that, we simply map our normal distribution using this formula. Okay, so this area, so this value going to be C2 85 minus 120.5 divided by 15.2. Negative, definitely it is negative. Okay, so this value is negative 2.34. I just round it up to 2 decimals. Okay, exact value is negative 2.33555. So I round it up to 2 decimals. So now go to the table. Which table? First one or second one? First one, because this C value is negative, right? So see, all C values are negative in this first table. So we need negative C values. Negative 2.34. 2.3 here. 4, I mean the column value here. So go down, come along this axis. Value is this one, right? 0.0096. So 0.0096. This is the probability or simply area, right? You don't have to get it 1 minus because this is what we need exactly, right? See, this table shows you whatever is starting from left hand side to some point. Okay. Clear? Okay, last one. Actually there is no there is no any other way out to solve this kind of problem. Definitely you have to do it like this. This one you can simply calculate using your calculators like what I did, but how to find this value using table? You have to go to the table and find it. Okay, this is not the one and only table that we can use. There are few other versions of this table, because in this table we have values, as I mentioned, negative 3.9 to positive 3.9, but there are other tables as well. But in your course, try to stick with this table. Okay. Okay. Third one. Between this much, 90, 135. Between, we need this area. Okay. Again, map this to a standard normal. Then if I use my notations, how do we, I forgot that. How do we write this one? Let's say my variable is capital X, random variable is capital X. So how do we write this one? Using notations, probability of capital X, right? Less than, sorry, greater than, it doesn't matter, greater than or equal, that's fine. 155. Okay. Second one, probability of capital X less than or equal 85. What about this one? Probability of, how do we write this one? Capital X, yes, that's my variable. First one, between 90 to 135, which means greater than 90, right? Less than 135. Clear? Okay, which means 90 greater than or equal, then 135 less than or equal. Okay, clear? Actually you can use this notation to find this C value. It's same thing, but okay. Since I use another approach, let's do this. Okay, for this one, let me get it C3, 90 minus 120.5 divided by 15.5 0.2. This one C3, 135 minus 120.5 divided by 15.2. So you can see first value, sorry, this C4. C3 definitely negative value. I don't know the value yet, but definitely it's a negative value. But this one C4 is a positive value. Okay, so you have to deal with two tables. Okay, right, this value. Negative 2.0065, which means 0, 1. Okay, next 135 minus divide by 15.2. 0.95 is positive value, 0.95. These are the two values. So first you have to find the area. Let me color using another color. First you have to find this area. Okay, using table number 1 because it is negative value. Okay, next find this area. Let's use yellow. Next you have to find this area using second table and get the difference, right? So difference gives you this much, right? Okay, let me first table, negative 2.01, negative 2.0, 2 point, this one, 0, 1. So 1 is here. See, so these two values give you negative. Oh, sorry, it is 2 point. Yes, 2.01. This two row value and column value gives you negative 2.01. Clear? So value is probability or area value is this one, 0.0222. So this probability, I have to write it like this. Probability of what? My capital X less than or equal negative 2.01, right? This probability is how much? This 0.0222, 0.0222. Clear? I mean this oh sorry, I use let me use the same color. This belongs to blue color area, which means this area. Right now, this one, which means my yellow color area, I can write it like this. Probability of, again, capital X less than or equal, what's the value? Positive 0.95, right? So this one I need to find, sorry, 95. So it is positive 0.95. I have to go to the table number 2. I mean the second table. I forgot the value. 95. Okay. 0 point. Okay, 0.95. So 0 point I can find here. 95. Sorry, 0.95. Okay, so 0.9 first. So 0.95, you can break it like 0.9 plus 0.05, right? So first 0.9 here, 0.005, sorry, 0.05 is here. So it's like this. So value is 0.8289. 8289. Right. So now you can find the probability that I mean what you need. Let me change the color again. So now you need to find probability of what you need. 90 less than or equal capital X less than or equal 135. This is difference between these two. Area difference. See this area difference. So max minus mean on 229. Area probability value, it is a positive value, okay, between 0 and 1. That's fine. 0 and 1. Okay, so don't sub these two. I mean, don't sub these two. If you do that, you will get a negative value. It's not the case here. So you have to subtract the minimum value from the largest value. Okay, so 0.0222. 0.8067, which means this area, that's the area you need based on this. See, this is how you write it, and this is the, sorry, this is capital P, this is the value. Clear? So if you need to find the, I mean, less than case, simply, you know, just one, this one, no, this one. Same here. Okay. Okay. Let me show you how we, I mean, without writing it like this, how we simply use our this notation and simplify it. Okay. I need. Okay. Let me erase this again. Oh. Okay. I'll go to this part and I'll explain it. Okay. If you have to find, let's say, this one, the first one. Let's. No, consider the second one. That's the easiest case. Okay. Probability of capital X less than or equal 85. Which means this part. So probability of X less than or equal 85. You can use the same notation or same probability notation to solve this. Like probability of, okay. Do your calculation inside this brackets. So capital X, what's your formula? How do you transform it to standard normal? X minus mu divided by sigma, right? So do it here. Your X minus mu divided by sigma. Okay. Same thing. I'm using another way to write it down. Less than or equal, same less than or equal. Here, right hand side, you have 85. Do the same thing to this guy as well. I think you have learned if you have an equation or inequality, if you do something to left hand side, then you have to do the same thing for right hand side, right? Clear? Like I think you may know that, right? If you have this 5 greater than 3 inequality, I'm going to subtract 2 from 5. 5 minus 2. So I have to do the same thing to this side as well. Clear? Otherwise, inequality going to be a problem. Okay. So keep that inequality as it is. You have to do the same thing to both sides. I mean, if you do something to left hand side, do the same thing for right hand side. So same here. Right, left hand side. Yes, left hand side. I just use that formula. What is this means? This means notation C, right? C. So I can write it like this: C, okay, less than or equal, this less than or equal sign. 85. Now I have values, right? I don't need to use mu and sigma. I have values. I think 120.5 divided by 15.2, right? So same thing inside these brackets. So probability of capital C less than or equal, this value I don't remember. I just remove it. Okay. So 85 minus 120.5 divide by 15.2. No, something. Negative 2.33034. Yeah. So same thing, but using different notation. Clear? So sometimes we use, I mean, if you are familiar with this process, I mean, these calculations, you can simply use this. Okay. Using our notations. Why I use C? Because I use this standardization here. For here, I mean, for this place, you don't need mu and values for mu and sigma. Just use mu and sigma. Replace it by C. Okay. Don't flip the inequality. I mean, don't flip this less than or equal or greater than or equal sign. Keep it as it is. Clear? So you can use the same thing for in between case as well. Okay, let me show you real quick. I'm not going to simplify that, but let me check the values. 90, 135. Okay, let me rest this. So those two values are, I showed you 90 less than or equal capital X less than or equal 135. You can do the same here, probability, but now you have 1, 2, 3, 3 cases. So do it for 3 cases at the same time. So 90 minus mu divided by sigma. Keep these symbols, okay? Don't flip them. X minus mu divided by sigma. Less than or equal 135 minus mu divided by sigma. Okay, same thing. Equals probability of, this is 90 minus 120.5 divided by 15.2 less than or equal, again this one becomes C, our notation. Okay, 35 minus 20.5 divided by, right? So once you simplify this, you will get, for the first one, negative 201 less than or equal C less than or equal 0.95. I'm talking about these two values. See, 0.95, right? Yes, 0.95. Okay, you see the notation is like this, but again, you have to go to the table and find the area. That's another case, but this is how we can write it. Okay, except like this. Except using these arrows and those stuff, you can simply replace that using this notation. Okay, it doesn't matter which one you use, but try to understand what is going on here. Okay, clear? This is next one is empirical rule. You already know that. Okay, empirical rule. Sorry. Property one. This much, I mean approximately 68% you can cover within this standard deviation. We call it 1 sigma. 1 sigma, because here it is just 1 times sigma. Next, approximately 95% we can cover observations lie within 2 standard deviation. 2 standard deviation with like this. This one mu plus or minus sigma. I mean this both together. This mu plus or minus 2 sigma. Third one, approximately almost all, I mean 99.7, we can cover within 3 sigma or 3 standard deviation. Okay, sigma means standard deviation. So mu plus or minus 3 sigma. Okay, this one. You remember this one? Empirical rule, I think chapter 3. See, 99.7, almost all, but 0.03, no, 0.3 outside this 3 sigma. See, both sides. Okay, very small area, but outside the 3 standard deviation or 3 sigma. Clear? Okay. Now the thing is, we have some time. We have to find the specific specific percentage for specific areas. Simply it is like this. If I say I have a normal distribution, doesn't matter about the mu and sigma, I have a normal distribution with mu and sigma. I need to find the x value. Okay, I need to find the x value which covers 60% from my observation. Okay, I need to find the x value. X value means this. Since this is normal distribution with mu sigma. Okay, I need to find the x value. I mean somewhere right here. This x value which covers 50% from my observations. 50 or 60 doesn't matter. Okay, or let's say 60. In this case, how do we find this x value? I'm talking about x value. Okay, so to do this, I think they have mentioned, yes, to do this, you have to use what we learned so far. I mean, in this chapter 6, especially previous case. First, since this is normal distribution, first we convert this to a standard normal distribution, right? But in that case, you don't know what is the x value. Okay, so you cannot find the particular C score or C value, right? But you know one thing, I mean, it's a property. If I consider my normal, if I consider the area of my normal distribution, and when I convert it to a standard normal distribution, what about the area? What you can say about these two areas? They are equal, right? Let me go back. See, I'm talking about this one. Okay, so areas, if I convert it to a standard normal distribution, this colored areas, they are same. If the first one 60% here, your left hand side, second one also right hand side 60%. Okay. Okay, so you don't have to convert it to a standard normal distribution, since you don't know this x value. Although you know mu and sigma, you don't know x value. So you don't need to convert it, but you know one thing. If I need to find the 60% of this normal distribution, I can simply map it to a standard normal distribution, and that area also 60%. Okay, so use that to solve this kind of problem. So first you have to simply, okay, 60%, consider the 60% in your standard normal distribution. Find the C value. Then what? You don't need the C value, you need the x value, this one. So reverse process of standardization, you have to come back. You know C value. Okay, see, you know C value, you know mu, you know sigma, then you can find this guy, right? This is how you solve it. If I isolate my capital X in this formula, it's going to be Cross multiplication both sides by sigma. So I can write it like this, equals x equals mu plus c times sigma. Clear? So you will be having this equation later in the next slide. This is how we write it. No. Clear? So if you know mu, this is mu and sigma, normal distributions variable, not the standard variables. 0 and 1, no, it's not 0 and 1, it is these values. Replace your c, find x. Okay, let's do that, otherwise you will confuse. Okay, this is what I was talking about. See, this equation we can simply cross multiply and do some math, get x. It doesn't matter simple x or capital X, it doesn't matter. Okay, so to the left area totally fine, to the right area also we can use this one, but area in the middle, this gonna be plus and minus, because you have to find two areas, so it is plus and minus. Okay, same value, but see, values can be different because of plus and minus. So we will do that. I think yes, check this one. Obtain 90th percentile, which means 90% for IQs, the value 6 percentage of observation left of. Okay, 90th percentiles mean always we measure percentiles from 0 to some kind of, 20th percentile, 30th percentile. So always starting from 0. If I draw this, '90th means somewhere here, right? This area or this probability or this percentage, this is 90, 0.9. Okay, we need to find value here. Here they haven't mentioned anything about normal distribution. So first find this value. How do we find this value? Since this is percentage or area, simply you can go to the standard normal distribution. You can consider. So go to the, not the first one, not the second one. Which one? It should be the second one, right? So you have the area is given. You have to find the C value. So area 0.9 we can find in the second table. Its exact value 0.9. 89, 88, 89, 0.9. The minimum is these two, one of these two. But when I check these two, I can say the closest value is first one, 0.8997, because the difference between 0.9 and 0.8997 is 0.0003. Okay, so my C value is this one, 1.2 plus 0.08, 128, 1.28. Okay, so this value right here is 1.28. For this problem, this example, this is the answer, because I don't know what is the normal distribution. Okay, okay, first this is the value. Okay, let's move to the second one. Okay, so GPA for the math major, this much. What is this? Mu. This is variance, which means sigma squared. So if you need to find the standard deviation, simply take the square root. This is going to be 0.5 standard deviation, which means sigma. Sorry, I didn't see that. Otherwise, I will change it, but I didn't see it. So what's the relationship between variance and standard deviation? Standard deviation squared equals to variance. Okay. 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 Let me write it. Variance equals sigma squared. So here sigma squared is 0.25. So variance is 0.25. So sigma is, take the square root both sides, you will get 0.5. Okay. So first, what is this distribution? Normal distribution. Definitely. Why? I have a mean and standard deviation. Has normal distribution with mean 3.2, standard deviation is 0.5. Clear? Is that clear? Okay. Find the GPA within 95% in the middle. I think you have seen this before. In the middle mean this much, and this area is 0.95. Right? So now what you need to find? You have to find this x value, let me call it x1, and this value, let me call it x2. Okay, clear? So yes, you have to do it separately. First, for a moment, forget about these x values. Just consider this probability or area percentage. I'm going to use, okay, let me use this page. Okay, so I have normal 3.2 and 0.5. Percentage is 95. Right? So I'm going to use standard normal distribution. Standard normal distribution. Standard normal distribution. Okay. It doesn't matter about the values. If I consider the area, also here is 0.95. So I need to find this value here. Let's see C1 and C2. Now I'm considering standard normal distribution. So how do we find this? Simply probability of C1 greater than or equal. Oh, sorry. So how do we find this? What this means? Right? This means this. Clear? Okay. How do you find this? You know how to find this. We have done this last day. Yes, last day we did this. What are these areas? In the middle, 95%. So left end and right end, 0. I mean, this one and this one, they are same. I mean, the same equal sizes. So this is going to be 0. Not 5. I mean, not 0.05. Both together 0.05, but each 0.025. 0.025. So these two together 0.05 plus 0.95 is 1. You know how to find this, right? I think I did last time as well. First find this area. Sorry, not the area. Using this area, you can find C1. Using this area, you can find C2. I don't have enough time, but let me do this again next day. But let me give you, let me tell you how to find this. First, find the C1 using this area. C1, C2. Okay. Then, I mean, you know what is the C1 and C2. Now, what you have to do? Go back. Go back to your normal distribution using this one. Mu plus C sigma using this, right? Now you know, let's say for this one to find x1, I'm talking about x1 here. Okay, x1 equals mu plus C1. Okay, C1, X1 we can map to C1 sigma. So you know what is mu, you know what is sigma, these two values. You know what is C1 from here. Now you can find X1. Clear? I'll do this calculation next day, but how to find this one? Mu plus C2, this one. So you know this one, this one, this one, and you can find X2. This is how you deal with this kind of problems. This is the only way we have to do it. Okay. So what we have learned so far, starting from chapter 6 to this end of this chapter, I think this is the end. Yes. That's the thing we extend to other chapters as well, 8 and 9. So same thing, there is no new stuff. We have to deal with what we have learned this one, okay, by using different notations and for different places. Okay. Okay, I'll do this one with values next day. Okay, I'll explain it. But anyway, if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, see you guys on Friday.